Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to Madam Azurin. We from Group 4 going to present to you about location decision for 99 Speed Mart based on Brunei and Philippine country. Before that, we're going to introduce ourselves. My name is Yusuf Sakafi bin Azam and we'll follow by.
My name is Nurshifa binti Salmi.
Hi, my name is Nur Fatiha binti Azhar.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Syafiqah Izzati binti Zulkifli.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Adik bin Muhammad Rosali.
Li Tianhua established 99 Speed Mart in 1987 as a convenience store in Klang, Selangor with the goal of serving high-quality products and excellent customer service. The name of the company is a guarantee to their customer that they will strive for quality and efficiency. A new store in Batu Belah, Klang was built when the company changed its name from Pasar Mini 99 Market to 99 Speed Mart in 2000. The name change is more than simply a rebranding effort. Mr. Lee was certain that the new mega chain was properly prepared. Therefore, 99 Speed Mart stores were established in place of all Pasar Mini 99 outlets. 99 Speed Mart received its first Consumer Choice Award from Malaysia's Ministry of Domestic Trade in 2006, marking the company's debut in the industry. This achievement is a tribute to the new and safe tagline of 99 Speed Mart. 99 Speed Mart's first distribution center was constructed in 2002. They are able to function in harmony by using an advanced logistics system, since they are able to use a vast chain that is supported by two completely integrated distribution centers. 99 Speed Mart can achieve ideal economies of scale via the procurement of large quantities of items, resulting in enhanced economic efficiency and lower costs. Sabah branch office and the fourth distribution center of 99 Speed Mart have been officially opened. This is the company's first ventures into East Malaysia. Furthermore, their first store in Singapore, located at 110 Sims Avenue, opened its doors in December 2019. 99 Speed Mart has reached a significant milestone with the launch of its first international expansion. Li Tianhua expects that the company will have 1,913 stores and will continue to develop around the country with the aim of reaching 2,100 outlets by the end of the year 2021.
The first country that we chose is Brunei Darussalam. Brunei Darussalam is a tiny sovereign sultanate on the island of Borneo's northwestern coast. Brunei's wealth, along with its strategic position, makes it appealing to other countries, and it has been courted by both its ASEAN, or Association of Southeast Asian Nations, neighbors, and larger nations since gaining its independence in 1984. Brunei Darussalam's current population as of 2021 is 443,714 according to Worldometer's interpretation of the recent United Nations statistics. Brunei is ranked 175th in terms of population among nations and dependencies. On the other hand, Brunei Darussalam's gross domestic product, or GDP, was approximately 12.02 billion US dollars in 2020. GDP of Brunei is predicted to reach 14 billion US dollars by the end of 2021. In the long run, Brunei's GDP is expected to hover around 16 billion US dollars in 2020. According to the US State Department, the Brunei Investment Agency had roughly 170 billion US dollars in assets under management in 2018.
Next, I will present about the Philippines country. For your information, Philippines is an island country of Southern Asia that is located between Western Pacific Ocean and the South China Sea. Philippines are an archipelago of around 7,000 islands located about 500 miles off the coast of Vietnam. The capital of Philippines is Manila. And the current population of the Philippines is 111,751,273, and the Philippines population is recorded at 1.41% of the total world population, which means Philippines is ranked 13 among nations. Philippines' economy is constantly expand with a GDP of more than 361.49 billion US dollars expect in 2020, and the GDP of the Philippines is predicted to rise significantly to more than 540 billion US dollar by 2026. And moreover, Philippines data center industry was worth USD 280 million in terms of investment in 2020.
Alright, we jump to the opportunity and risk. The opportunity in Brunei, based on our research, firstly, stable political environment. According to the graph, Brunei Political Stability Index is excellent from 1996 until 2020. For that indication, also shows that it maintains positive figure from 1996 until 2020, and it also become the most political stability in Asian country. Secondly, beneficial tax policy in Brunei country. Brunei Darussalam indicate it has the fewest tax in Asia and lowest corporate income tax rates compared to other Asian countries, which are 18.5% based on trading company statement. Furthermore, tax limit is given to companies that recently create an existing business as government concerned about tax responsibilities towards a small and medium-sized business, which is SMEs. Point number 3, absence in tourism. Brunei has been blessed in that it's not been subject to the terrorist acts for a decade. The safety health environment covers all stages of the workplace, and it will oversee all aspects of safety related to the industrial activity in Brunei Darussalam. It may oversee some industrial sectors such as workplace, institution, retail stores, hospital, and others, based on the Radiation Protector Order 2018.
The first risk is Brunei Islamic law. Islamic law is the law that has been mentioned in the Quran, which believes the content are directly from God. It is also known as Sharia law, where the words come from the Arabic language, which means the right path. This Sharia law covers of all aspects for Muslim, including the life routine, religious obligation, as well as the business dealings. Brunei applies this Islamic law in their country, which 99 speedmarts have to prioritize. And 99 speedmart will find some difficulties in selling their beer due to the prohibition of selling and drinking alcohol in their countries. Under the Custom Order 2006, Section 31, Brunei put regulations and prohibited activities such as to import or manufacture the alcohol for religious factors. Other than that, the operation hour will also be affected under the Islamic law that is practiced in Brunei. During Friday, all kinds of businesses must be closed down between 12 p.m. until 2 p.m. To sum up, in Malaysia, 99 speedmart is allowed to sell alcohol and to operate on Friday without any restriction. Thus, it will affect the company in order to reach the maximum level of profit. The second risk is high foreign exchange rate. Exchange rate is a money value rate between two countries in which one currency will be exchanged for another when we are doing our international business. Brunei have higher exchange rate compared to our currency, which means that the currency exchange rate will be expensive. This higher exchange rate will be a burden for 99 speedmart as their cost of product shipments. 99 speedmart will also be burdened to finance their company in order to lower the price of the product, as their vision is to be the retailers that provide people's needs at the lower prices. Thus, this high exchange rate is really need to be considered by the 99 speedmart before they enter the Brunei's market. For your information, exchange rates are the most watched, analyzed, and governmentally manipulated economic measure as it plays an important role in countries' level of trade. The last risk is less opportunity to own the premise or have to rent the premise. Brunei is a small country which only have 400,000+, and this population might sound so little for our country, but the size and the population of the Brunei can be considered as overpopulated. These populations prevent international companies to own their premise or to operate their own factory operations. This issue arises a lot in Brunei, and the government also have taken some initiatives to protect the international trader, yet the protection is not strong. As well as we all know, the companies such as 99 speedmart should be able to own their premise and factory instead of renting it, because it will cost a lot of money for 99 speedmart. However, speedmart still have chances to own their premise, but they have to go through a lot of documentation processes, as it is one of the rules that must be followed in their country.
Next is opportunities of running a business in the Philippines. There are three. The first one is due to its large and growing population. The Philippines' population is constantly rising, providing investors with more highly educated and competent personnel. The population is predicted to exceed 110 million by 2020, with at least 2 million individuals born each year. As a result of the demographic dividend, there are currently more young individuals than older people. A significant benefit of this is that more of the younger generation is entering the home market for products and services, which may give their skills and expertise in this market. The second opportunity is due to its strong consumer market. In recent years, the Philippines has seen one of the fastest economic development rates in the area. The economy is ranked by the World Bank as one of the top performers in East Asia in terms of growth, owing to strong exports, healthy domestic consumption, and infrastructure spending. Filipinos are willing to spend more money on goods like cell phones, electronics, autos, and even a home. They can also travel and spend more money on things like vacations, movies, and hobbies. Furthermore, the government's pledge to enhance public infrastructure investment is projected to keep the country's development momentum going, bolstering corporate and consumer confidence. The third and final opportunity is due to its low labor cost. One of the most notable features of the Philippines is its cheap labor cost. Foreigners can recruit talented individuals in high-demand areas such as business process outsourcing and others.
We move to the risk in performing business in Philippines. Firstly, too much holidays in the Philippines. It contains 18 non-working holidays that are made by the government. For example, New Year's Day, Christianity Days, or any other Souls Day. If the retailer stores like 99 Speed Mart need to pay their employees with double payment or triple in non-working holidays. Okay, this resulting increased overhead costs every year for the company. Number two, legal limitation for foreigners. Many investors are unwilling to consider the Philippines as a good location to invest due to restriction on foreign control of property. The government keeps controlling a land-owning business and includes the restriction on foreign ownership imposed by the Constitution and particular department. It shows that the government took too much limitation for foreigners investor and made it hard to make it function and be profitable in that country, as the requirements are hard to fulfill at the first place. And lastly, the labor is prioritized by the law. Most labor regulation in the Philippines favor employees over companies based on the law review in 2021. For instance, any company cannot just terminate poor workers at any will before completely dismissing individuals. The employer must first demonstrate that the employee was at fault or failed to meet the requirement of company expectation. These requirements may appear to some companies to be unjust, and it is difficult for the company, especially the human resource department, to manage in terms of labor issues within the company in the Philippines.
Now let's move on to simplified market penetration grid. The table above shows the market penetration grid. This penetration metric is usually used to measure the variables of the country before expanding the business into another foreign country. This is to make sure that we know the opportunities and the risks by doing business in particular foreign countries. This table concludes that the Brunei market offers high opportunity and high risk, while the Philippines offer high opportunity and low risk, for which for us, Philippines is a much better country to expand the business. However, these two countries must be chosen by the Speedmart based on their willingness to tolerate the risk.
Gradual commitment is a method to reduce risk when doing a market penetration in other countries. There are 4 methods for reduced risk. The first one is go to a country that has similar characteristics to our home country. For example, Brunei or Philippines has some similarities with Malaysia, such as Brunei and Malaysia speak the same language, while Philippines and Malaysia have Malayo-Polynesian ancestors, and there are many more similarities that they have. So, 1919 Speedmart will slowly open the first branch in similarity country. The second point is using experienced intermediaries to manage the operation. After 1919, Speedmart expand their market in foreign countries that have similarity with Malaysia, such as Brunei and Philippines. Then they will target another foreign country that has high income while highly depending on intermediaries and international acquisition to employ personnel who are familiar with the markets that they are trying to target. Next is operating in formats that necessitate the commitment of minimal resources abroad. As for this point, after the 1919 Speedmart gained experience, the market can decide whether they want to make direct investment in another country. The last point is moving to one or a few foreign countries at first, rather than many. For this point, it means that 1919 Speedmart can only expand or grow their business in one country so that they can prevent the confusion by learning about too many countries at one time.
Next, let's look at the geographic diversification versus concentration. 99 Speedmart has already extended their business to a foreign country, which is Singapore, in order to keep looking for new opportunities and meeting consumer needs. 3 new outlets have been opened in Singapore. This shows that they are prepared to raise their commitment using a concentration strategy. A company may relocate or expand into countries like Brunei or Philippines, but only after establish a strong participation and competitive position in their home country. This is to avoid moving quickly into most markets while increasing commitment in only a few. 99 Speedmart must use a concentration strategy to avoid a lack of commitment in the country where they would be operating. The concentration strategy is important for several reasons, which are competitive lead time, need for product communication and distribution adaptation, and program control requirement. For competitive lead time, 99 Speedmart must enter new markets fast in order to prevent rivals from usurping their advantages. It is possible, for example, for them to begin offering their advanced logistics system in Philippines and Brunei sooner. They must act fast if they are to pursue a diversification strategy. Next, 99 Speedmart has taken advantage of a large supplier chain which is supported by 2 completely integrated distribution centers in the local country. By pursuing the concentration strategy, 99 Speedmart will be able to better adapt their distribution process to the new foreign market that they are planned to enter. Using a concentration strategy, it may help them achieve specialties and ensure that they can meet the needs of consumer that are looking for a specific product. Lastly, for program control requirements, 99 Speedmart in Singapore has made a name for itself in the global market. This is due to their effort to maintain control over their activities in a foreign country. The more 99 Speedmart becomes aware of its surrounding and concentrates on controlling operation on global scale, the more advantageous a concentration strategy becomes.
Continue to reinvestment and harvesting. Alright, reinvestment can be defined by the activity by the company that placed the profit made on previous investment back into the same scheme to enhance more profit and capabilities to gain more profit in the future. Moreover, harvesting can be described by the action of companies that reduce commitment in some countries due to negative factors such as poor performance and more. However, the company seeks for new countries that will provide better demand and market penetration for their businesses. In this research, we advise that reinvestment should be the suitable choice for 99 Speedmart to penetrate their market effectively. As 99 Speedmart desire to practice businesses in countries abroad, they need to focus on reinvesting the current premises in the original country and not necessary to shut down the current premises, as countries abroad have many opportunities compared to home country. For example, 99 Speedmart can reinvest in technology research and development such as in automatic cashier. Other than that, investment on marketing and advertisement, and lastly reinvest on the adding new stocks. And this reinvestment is to expand and generate more profit using current premise, as 99 Speedmart have capabilities to do the reinvestment in the future ahead.
Next, there are 3 recommendations or suggestions that we would make. The first one is technology investment. The pandemic spurred businesses to use contactless payment solutions to limit the danger of transmission of the virus, including promoting the development or expansion of digital payment options to further enable both in-store and online purchases. Other than launching a digital payment option, an investment that can be made is in an online shopping application whereby customers can simply place their orders online and have it delivered to their doorsteps. The second recommendation that we would make is to implement appropriate international business strategy. There are 4 international business strategies that a company can implement before deciding to expand internationally. Those 4 strategies are international strategy, multi-domestic strategy, global strategy, and transnational strategy. Consider each of these strategies in terms of a spectrum with 2 components, which are local responsiveness and global integration. The third and final recommendation that we would make is research and development, or R&D. Research and development involve the action when a company does any appropriate research before introducing their product or service to a chosen market. Doing proper research and development is especially essential when expanding internationally, as an international market may differ from a local market, such as differences in culture and customer preference. By doing proper research and development, it also allows a company to identify its competitive advantage. Additionally, doing proper research allows a company to lower the risk of business failure when expanding internationally.
As for the conclusion, as we did this research to find out which countries should be expanded by the 99 Speed Mart, we can say that each country has its own opportunities and risks. As for this report, we focus on 2 countries, which are Brunei and Philippines. These 2 countries have their own potential for 99 Speed Mart to be successful in foreign countries. Thus, we would like to suggest the Philippines as their country to expand in, because the Philippines offer high opportunities and with a lower risk compared to Brunei. However, these 2 countries must be chosen by the 99 Speed Mart based on their willingness to tolerate the risk.